So let me ask you, why do you both do acro?
I do acro because of the sense of playfulness.
It's fun, it's lighthearted, we laugh a ton.
Immediately everyone was so lovely and welcoming. It's the most welcoming group of people in the world.
It brought me into my body a little bit more, into trusting others, trusting myself.
I think there's nothing like it, and I think everyone should do it.
One thing I noticed early on about the acro community is, well, that. It's a community. This was something that really brought people together, and in a deeper way than just another hobby. I wasn't the only one who had discovered acro from a place of loneliness, and sometimes darkness. Many others had as well. And it connected them to a growing and vibrant community all over the world. It connected them to lifelong friends and sometimes romantic partners. But above all, it connected people with themselves, a part of themselves that they were missing. I wanted to explore this connection, how it worked, how it enriched their lives. But before I could do that, I needed to hear their stories.
My name is Laura Lebron. I'm originally from the Dominican Republic.
My name's John McCullough. I'm from Southern California.
My name is Rachel Gribben. I'm a speech pathologist and I'm a musician.
I'm Diane Klein. I do acro on the beach in Santa Monica.
I'm Joseph Gray. I'm a personal trainer, acrobat, originally from Birmingham, Alabama.
Growing up in the Dominican Republic was really beautiful, and it was also challenging in many ways. I lost my mom when I was 5 years old. It was really challenging as a 5-year-old to be so lost, and I felt really alone for a lot of that. And I didn't have like a female role model that I could relate with in a deep level. And I also felt misunderstood and unheard and unseen in many ways, and that really created a rebel in me.
By the time I was 25, I was married with 2 children. To me, that's what you did. And at the end of that, you get to check that box off that I was successful. Ultimately turned into a divorce out of a 25-year marriage. I have no regrets on that at all, but you can't control everything.
Before I got to acro, I danced ballet. My background in dance has helped me, but I have a hard time trusting people with my body.
When I was growing up, there were many examples of exactly the kind of man that I did not want to be. Very machismo. It kind of turned this dialogue within myself into, what do I need to do to be the opposite of what I don't want?
My professional life is highly intellectual. Everybody in that space is pretty much a brain being carried around inside a body. And as I have gotten older, I've had a sense that that's an incomplete way to live as a human being.
In my last year of school, which was 2013, I met acro, and that changed my life.
I started doing acro yoga at the beginning of 2021. My pod for the pandemic did like a bi-weekly Zoom acro yoga class. It's just a way to keep ourselves engaged.
So back in 2012, 2013, the way I got into it was I was actually going down to the beach and taking photographs. And there was a woman, she's like, "You, come here, we can use you. Can you fly? Yeah, okay, we got something for you to do." And she totally is grabbing people and getting things. And that's kind of how I met her. She's like, come here.
John first showed up as a photographer, and I think initially he and I met because we were kind of the oldsters who were also new. And we also found that we were at a similar stage of life, but our shared interest in acro and love of it created that environment for our friendship.
We met in Costa Rica.
We met in Costa Rica. We went to an acrobatic training out there, and both of us came without partners to train with, so we ended up partnering up. An acro connection is like a language. It's like speaking a nonverbal language.
That connection was very visceral, and we felt it immediately. You can speak so many things so clearly just through physical touch, And it was good because it sort of like challenged communication.
I had no preconceived idea I would ever do acro. I'm gonna be 66, I refuse to play bingo. It brings a community with hundreds of people that have given me 100 different viewpoints for me to reshape the way I see the world.
It has brought me into a different kind of relationship with people who I otherwise would be unlikely to encounter or get to know. I am a more complete person than I was.
Acro yoga has many different forms of intimacy. The intimacy of trust, of like, I'm putting my body in your hands, or I'm taking your body in my hands and keeping you safe.
I think acro has been our safety net.
Through acro and through Lauda, I was introduced to people who can show me what it's like to be a vulnerable man with integrity.
Let's just imagine that we're in this alternative universe. Acro doesn't exist. What do you think you'd be missing in your life?
I would be missing so much. Some of the best friends I have are because of acro.
There'd be a lot less nourishment in my life, you know?
If I didn't have acro, I wouldn't have anything.